All right, all right, all right. We here back at Slaughterhouse, and today we had to pull the Coach Mike. Coach Mike, how we doing?
All right, brother. All right, another day.
Another day on a Sunday.
You
So
know?
we grinding hard on a Sunday today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So if you don't mind, give me
Our
just.
motto is every day, all day, twice on Sundays, baby.
So I mean, we just getting started today, then.
Yes, sir.
We just getting started.
Just get started.
Okay. Here, if you don't mind, give me a little background. I know we know you, Coach Mike, but just give me your name, where you from, and just a little bit of background about yourself.
Okay, yeah. My name's Coach Mike. I'm from Washington, D.C. Been boxing, started boxing at 8 years old. I fought up the ranks through D.C., Mayor's Cup, all that good stuff, Boys and Girls Club, in and out of incarceration, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And basically, that's one of the reasons why I started boxing, for discipline, just self-defense, period. Because in D.C., we would call it a boxing state. Football didn't matter to us.
Yeah.
Basketball didn't matter to us. It was straight fighting and boxing, So when we fought in the street, it was like an everyday boxing match because everybody boxed. Mm-hmm. So it was like my crew, our crew was called Kennedy Street. I lived on Kennedy Street, Upster Street, and then I moved to Maryland out Fleetwood, a place called Fleetwood Village. And when we used to get in street fights, they was good old boxing matches. You know what I'm saying? It was like you was performing in the gym, wasn't no wrestling. Mm-hmm. It was all about the hands.
Yeah.
Who got knocked out, who got knotted up. Then if you lost the fight, it was a rematch already set for the next week. So you went and trained, got in the gym, just to fight that rematch either at the go-go that following week, or you just see that person at the following week. And that's how we did it.
And do you feel like it's kind of one of them things, I know the rough environment is the rough environment, but do you feel like things are a lot different now compared to back then, where back then you may get into a fight with somebody and like you said, it's like, hey, if you take your L, you'll see them next week, compared to kind of nowadays where it seems like people don't really fight no more, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a lot more.
I'm gonna give you my notion on it.
Okay.
Back in my days, it was mother and fathers in the house, So your father was definitely like, nigga, you gonna be a little man. Mm-hmm. A lot of these little dudes today are made, you know what I'm saying? Meaning they was raised by their mother. Not putting nothing negative on mothers, because they do what they gotta do and I respect it.
Yeah.
But mothers, boys that's raised by mothers, usually they don't know it, they take on their tendencies without even knowing it. Smacking their lips, doing female stuff, very emotional and things of that nature. So in this day and world, a lot of fathers are absent, so that's direct effect on family. And that's why I encourage a lot of these boys to come to the gym, girls too, but boys mostly, because we want to give them that father figure that they never had, and give them that father essence that they don't have. So we try to break a lot of bad habits that they pull from their mother without them even knowing, like smacking their lips, putting their hand on their hip, running to mommy instead of picking up a water bottle, giving their own water. They run to mommy, I need some water. Mm-hmm. So we try to break a lot of that, and bring them back to the menship. Mm-hmm. That's what I call it, the menship, not the womenship. I'm not gonna say shit, but womenship, because women do have important roles in male lives and female lives. Vice versa, we have a very important roles in our daughter lives.
Yeah.
So it takes a village to raise a family, and it takes man and woman to raise a boy and a girl.
And I mean, to hit on what you're saying is like, it's you need both, but kind of like you just hit on, like a man can't raise a woman to be a woman. No, you can be there to give them and instill with them and show them what they should probably look for in a man and what they and offset what they need. But you can't teach her
how to be a woman.
Like a mama can't really necessarily teach her son how to be. I don't see nothing wrong with that. And I think we kind of live in a day and time right now where, things are overcomplicated, or people like to down. I would call this positive masculinity. You just teaching them how to drink from your own water bottle.
Absolutely.
Okay. So going back,
simple stuff like that.
Yeah. So going back into getting a little bit into, your background a little bit. I know you said you were incarcerated.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like if you would have had, or do you feel like what you came from and what you experienced you can identify as some of these younger folks sometimes, and it helps you work with them a little bit more, guide them a little bit more, because you kind of see, maybe where you were in them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I totally agree with that, because a lot of the young guys that come off the street, they kind of gravitate to me, because they be like, man, you and Coach G, man, y'all from the street, y'all understand. And we don't tell them not to do nothing, but we try to guide them into, we give them both options. This is what's gonna happen, that's gonna happen. I done been in jail, I done been inside the belly of the beast. I done been where you going. If you keep throwing rocks at the penitentiary, they gonna open up the door, champ. And the thing is, can you handle that? Because now you're going from a jungle, a really big jungle, to a small jungle. And all the animals in that jungle is in there. You got gorillas, you got lions, you got apes, you got all of them, you got the hyenas, you got the, all type of animals. And you got to pick and choose which one you're gonna be, because there's somebody can turn you into the Pink Panther quick if you exhibit that type of mannerism. So I give them the whole picture, brother. If you're gonna keep doing that, I'm not gonna tell you not to stop surviving, because I understand.
Yeah.
You to that point at your life where you trying to survive, and I understand that. But you gotta understand too, it's some another side of that survival, brother. Are you willing to take that chance? I done been shot, I done been stabbed. I show them stab wounds, I show them shot wounds, I show them paper clips, I show them a lot of different things to say, this is the end result to that. But you can come on in this gym. As you out there hustling in the street, you hustling this boxing game. Take the bad hustle and make it into a good hustle. I ain't saying you gotta go work a 9 to 5, but what I am saying is it's positive good and it's bad bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So turn that and make it into a positive good, because that same mindset you got to hustle in a bad way, you can hustle that same thing in real estate. Because real estate is straight like a street dude out there hustling.
Yeah. It's the same mentality
It's the
you gotta
same
have.
mentality.
You just, what they say, same game, different product.
There you go.
So it's like what you doing over here in the negative realm, you can take them same skill sets and put them into a real estate.
A positive realm.
I mean, I find like people who, like drug dealers, I'm like, those would be some of your best entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And the smartest.
And the smartest.
And the thing about a lot of drug dealers, man, people don't understand, because that's what I did. I like to play with them guns, and drug dealers. I came up under the Rayful administration, Wayne Perry. You know what I'm saying? I was in the streets. My street name was Psycho. So I had to live up to that.
Yeah.
That became who I was. That wasn't who I started out to be.
Yeah.
But the street gave me that name, so I had to do more crazier stuff than what I just did. So that became me, Psycho.
Yeah.
Until I went to got incarcerated, then I learned, man, you don't have to do that. There's other ways to do life. So that's why I tell people, they always ask, if you had to do it again, would you do it the same thing? I said I wouldn't have had no other way, because I wouldn't have became the man who I became. I seen a lot, I done done a lot. You know what I'm saying? I ran across all them guys people talk about, the Jay-Z's and the DMX. I ran into DMX in Baltimore in the club. I ran to Jay-Z, yeah, he used to come to DC, he wasn't lying. He used to come to DC, but one thing about DC, we didn't play them New York. But he had dudes named CD and Danny down there in Simple City that was already plugged in with the city dudes. You see what I'm saying? So he used to run for them, he was a peon for them. You see what I'm saying? But that's in a whole horse of another color. I turned that into, that was an experience in my life. But now I try to give back to these kids and make a positive admiration to them. Like, man, look, that world, not many of us make it out of it. Not many, and that's what my wife always told me, baby, I got you. I pray for you all the time when you leave out this house. She was my girlfriend then. I was 15 when I met her, we was 16. She was 16, I was 15. She did all the hard times with me. We built this thing together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we still kicking it today. She in the front room. That's the one in the dress back there.
Okay, behind the desk.
Yeah.
Okay. I met her for the first time today.
Yeah.
She wasn't here on Thursday, but I met her today.
Right. So me and her done been through it. She done been shot in the city. You know what I'm saying? On her birthday. So we done been through it. So we come down here try to give this knowledge that we got city life. to these dudes that's faking a city life. Because they don't really know what city life is, man.
What
That's
it really
why they
come
don't
with.
understand about, I can shoot you and be emotionless and think it's a quote unquote thing to do until they slap them cuffs on him. That's when he start crying and you see the realism come out, and then you got the telling and all this stuff. But you ain't think about that when you shooting at somebody. And 9 times out of 10, they wasn't trying to kill nobody. It was just a hap of, they were just trying to be hit, you know?
Be what they think they should be.
Absolutely.
Not what they are.
Not what they are. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like that. I like that. And to bring it around a little bit, who are some, or I guess when we talk about like your fighters, because I know, like we said, you're a little Slaughterhouse coach. How many other fighters do you have under you?
We got about a good 15, 16 fighters. In this gym, we don't pick fighters. All of us work together.
Okay.
And we teach the same thing. It's only one way to teach boxing, that's the right way. You got a lot of these gyms don't know what real coaches are. They haven't been, they haven't been in that ring fight.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me how to fight, you never fought. You know? How you gonna tell me in different situations that you haven't been? You know, that's just like me telling a person how to drive and I never drove a car.
You ain't never got behind the wheel.
Never. So
Drove on the interstate.
I'm gonna tell you the situations you might have occurred, and I never been in them situations. So that's why I deviate from. You never hear us call each other in here trainers. We always say coaches.
Yeah.
Trainers is somebody that's seen something that they mimicking, and they training you how to do what they seen somebody else do. I'm a coach. I done been in that realm. I know how to talk to you because I know what's going to happen inside the square circle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So when you got out of when you got out of the street boxing and more into the boxing,
Right.
what was that experience like for you? What, you know, how'd you take it? How far did you take it? How serious did you take it? What kind of fighter were you? Give me a little taste of what that was
I'm
like.
tell you like this, man. In DC, you had 3-tier fighters. You had the fighter that was in the street, which was the older guy. They'd be in the street, but they come to the gym, put that work in, they was sharp. You know what I'm saying? These the guys you never meet. You know what I'm saying? You never meet these guys. Then you had your second tier guy, which was the little brothers or the top tier guy, and he used to be like, you ain't gonna be like me. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be in this gym. You know? And then when he wasn't around, you tested yourself out there in the streets. You see what I'm saying? Then you had that 1-tier guy, that 3rd-tier guy. He just was in the gym. He wasn't about that street life. He had both mothers. He couldn't leave off the porch. And the 2 tiers that was before him made sure he didn't come off the porch. Nah, boy, you better get your little self back and take your whatever you trying to do out there. They take it from you. Tell you better go to the gym.
You're not built
What
like
you
that.
need?
You're not built like that.
You're not built to be out here. Get your little butt in that gym and you gonna fight. And I'm coming to see you fight. What you need? They made sure we had what we need to fight. That's just like everybody don't know. Everybody know Mark Too Sharp Johnson. He was a flyweight champion. He was that tier, but he had a brother named James Harris. James Harris was the man of both of them. But James Harris and me and all of us, we went to jail. So the people you see today, like your people out of DC, your Mark Too Sharp Johnson, your Curtis Peoples, and all them other dudes that made it big that you see that was with Don King, them was the guys that was pampered from the streets. The real fighters, the sharp fighters, were your Tommy Lays and your Alfred Hobleys and all them type of dudes, but you never hear about them because they was in the street.
They was tier 3.
They was tier 3. I fell under tier 2, where I was playing the border. So when they went to jail, I stepped up and had my opportunity to get in the street. See what I'm saying? So when I went to the street, I took it from being the best amateur boxer out there, me, Ham, you know, Lil Ham, and there was quite a few of us. So what we did is we took over our older group and we got in the street. So when we went to jail, you know what I'm saying, we we made the name for DC. Everybody knew, man, DC come, oh, you know them boys come to fight. That was the mantra we had out there. Them boys coming to fight, and they coming to wreck. Them boys ain't ducking no wreck. And they coming talking trash, talking shit, whatever you want to do. And they not scared.
It's none of this new age stuff where we gonna tweet about it and we never gonna fight about it, but we gonna tweet a lot of it.
Joe, when we used to go to the fights, we be telling niggas straight up, "Who I'm fighting today? Oh, I'm whooping your ass, nigga." Ain't no whole lot to that. You know what I'm saying? And then we got it, man. Then we had to do. You know what I'm saying? But we had respect for all fighters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I came up in the area of 88, 89, 90. I fell in 88. I fell in 90, and then I got my long bid in 90, which was 10 years in the Fed. And like I say, man, it was dying. A lot of good boxers dying. I don't know if a lot of people heard of this boxer. His name was Rat Man, Cold Animal out of DC. He got shot, he died. Wayne Perry, one of the sharpest dudes in DC. Everybody knows Wayne Perry. He's who they talk about with the paid in full thing. You see what I'm saying? With the Alpo Martinez thing. You know what I'm saying? Wayne was one of your sharpest dudes in DC. Wayne not only told that too, you get Wayne twisted, he gonna put them knuckles on. Michael Frey, all these dudes, man, they was sharp as all outdoors. That's who we trained on. Then, like I said, they kept us off the street. We kept our third generation. But that's who y'all hear about your Gary Russells.
Yep.
He wasn't in the street, but Gary Jones was in the street, his brother. Bad motor scooter right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, so these fighters y'all seeing today, they was sheltered.
Yeah.
They not your actual DC bad boys, but they go hard too because they got that bloodline.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like you don't want to see tier 3, 4.
No.
We gonna give you the tier 1 because you don't want to see tier 2 and 3.
You know what I'm saying? So tier 3, that's what you saying. Them the ones that was on the porch sheltered, but they got that bloodline in them and they showing it every day in the boxing. You got your Mark Two Shops, you got your Gary Russell brother. They got, you would think them street niggas. In actuality, they not. They was sheltered. They father, cold street dude, but he sheltered his sons from that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do it so you don't gotta do it.
Exactly. I'm gonna make the way for us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sacrifice my life to bring a better life for you, and that's what a lot of our fathers did, but we don't get the credit for that.
Yeah.
We sacrificed our lives to get out of that 9-to-5 way of life. We sold drugs to make believe that, you know, we could be entrepreneurs, even though it wasn't the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But we showed our young generation, like my daughter. I showed my daughter that, because every time she see the police hurt me, beat me, or whatever they did, she made, at 3 years old, the police pulled me over one day, slammed me on the car. Then they told me, oh, we wasn't the one you was looking for. But because they knew who I was, they knew how I carried it, they knew what they had to do, and I respect that now. I didn't understand it back then, but that was about their safety, they making it home to their family.
Yeah.
Because they knew I was a lunatic. You know what I'm saying? So respect to them, and I got honor for them right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I understood. Like I'm trying to do now. All I want to do, I'm old school now.
Yeah.
All I want to do is protect my family. If it ain't got nothing to do with my family, I ain't putting harms away or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
100%. But so, like I say, I come to give back to the kids here so they won't have to do that. I was the sacrifice to them.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that, young man. I'm going to teach you right now that you don't have to do that. We going to get in this boxing game, they giving money away. Giving money away.
You take it serious, it could take you somewhere. It can take you
fight,
somewhere.
This what these youngers don't understand. One fight, you could be a millionaire. You could go from overnight being $200 in the bank to your name to $1 million, $2 million for your next fight, $3 million. You know what I'm saying? And I teach these guys that I can say one fight, you could be a millionaire. I feed that in their head when they're young now, giving them the stamina to say, man, this is my way out. I don't gotta sell drugs. I don't gotta kill. I don't gotta have that crabs in a barrel mentality.
Yep.
I could do this boxing and be a millionaire. Like I say, I'll go back to my daughter. She said, Dad, I'm gonna be a lawyer. This at 3 years old. She said, Daddy, I'm gonna be a lawyer so I can protect you from them. I said, baby girl, you ain't gotta worry about me. She like, nah, Daddy. And right to this day, she graduated high honor, she out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? Working towards getting her lawyer's degree. She never wavered. She got, when she graduated college, she was a double major. She could be a psychologist, making well over 6 figures.
Yeah. She
You
was
know what I'm
focused.
saying? She was focused. She could make well over 6 figures now. She say, Daddy, she making a nice amount now. She say, Daddy, I told her I'm gonna be a lawyer. That's what I'm gonna do. I said, baby girl, I'm old now. I ain't into that. She said, so what? I told you I'm gonna be a lawyer. She never wavered, bro. Not one time. So the most vital time you could teach a kid something is from when they born to when they about 10 years old. You know what I'm saying?
That window.
That window. Everything else is a learning of themselves. You know what I'm saying? My daughters are smart. My wife told me, babe, I read to them every night. I used to say, for what? They can't hear. But when I came out, she was doing advanced stuff. My daughter would actually pick up an ink pen and write. Look at books like she knew how to read them. And I used to say, you don't know what you're doing, so I'd take the book and turn it upside down. She'd turn it back.
She said that's not how the book's supposed to be, sir.
Right, you know, I'm shocked. I'm like, wow. Man.
Yes, sir.
So, people don't understand that, man.
I respect that. And to highlight something you just said too, going back on the DC tip of things, I didn't really get exposed fully into like the DC boxing scene until Lamont Roach.
Right.
And I didn't, going into the Tank Davis fight, I was like, gonna be another stepping stool, gonna be another whoop-de-whoop. Then I saw it and I was like, are they built like that for real in DC? Is this? And then I started looking at the whole stable that they had coming out of DC, and I was like, but back into that one fight can change your life thing. I mean, he was making his way, but it wasn't like right after that Tank fight where
Bang.
he showed, he ain't get the win, but he showed something that now taking him up out of there. So, I mean, that's a 100 good point, 100 good point.
That's the thing don't a lot of people understand, bro. All your bad fighters came to DC. They come through DC because of the attitude and the way we fight. Let me explain this to you. Back in the day, everybody had a style of fight. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you had Detroit. They had what they called the Detroit Rock. James Toney. See how he rocked? That's not the Philly chair. That's the Detroit Rock. He rocked. See what I'm saying? Philly dudes, they had the Philly shell. The Philly shell came from Georgie Benton. You know what I'm saying? Then you had the New York style. Then you had the DC style where we wanted to look good, and we used our feet as defense and combinations and speed. So when we went to other states, we factually knew what type of fighters we was getting because of their style. You see what I'm saying? Everybody had different styles. Then as we went on in life, a lot of fighters, people don't think, Pernell Whitaker was trained by Ham AC. He came to DC. If you go look at Mark Too Sharp Johnson and look at Pernell Whitaker was from Norfolk, Virginia, he came to DC and trained with Ham. Mark Brilliant trained in DC. Lennox Lewis came and trained with Ham to get that DC style. And that's why everybody now, they got different styles. At first, it was only your style that you came up with. And that's what make the boxing scene so bad now, because everybody didn't learn all the styles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They try to learn all the styles so everybody you can adapt to different styles.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Which, that make boxing great now. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, man, DC got more champions than anybody in the world. Look at all the champions came out of DC. Sugar Ray Leonard, Sean Bay Mitchell, you know what I'm saying? Curtis People, my man Chop Chop, you know what I'm saying? You had Andrew Maynard, 88 Olympics, he became a champion. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Mark Too Sharp Jones, Sean Bay Mitchell, you had Ratman. It's just the list go on and on and on of nothing but champions.
This for the young folks, so y'all go do your homework on all these people. When you hear them, when you hear these names, go do your homework. Yeah.
Go just look at how many champions came out of DC. No other state has more champions than DC But I think the only one close to us is literally nobody that I can.
He said, I can't even tell
I
you.
can't even tell you. But I give New York, they were some bad dudes. New York, Texas fighters. These are all your fighting states. Philly fighters. Philly was a fighting state. Texas was a fighting state. Florida a fighting state. Ohio a fighting state. You know, of course, Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those are what you call fight states. Everywhere else, you might got one champion in 10 years, 13 years. You know what I'm saying?
So, before I let you up out of here, how can we, since we got, especially you down here in the Georgia scene of boxing, how does Georgia elevate into being that? I mean, we got some boxers that we're gonna interview later and follow around in your gym, but how does Georgia become what a DC is, what an Ohio is, what a Texas is?
The way I could say Georgia could come through to become like a DC, first of all, you got to get these mom and pops out of boxing. You know, they just sit around and they learn from different people. They learn the basics. I could teach you 1, 2, but I can't give you boxing scenario. You see what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of Georgia fighters go into the ring, and then when they go up against a half-decent fighter, they get beat down like they nothing because they stagnated because they don't know scenario. They don't know what it takes. And Georgia got to get out of this. Anybody could be a coach. You got a lot of trainers in Georgia. Very few coaches. Now, don't get me wrong. You got some bad coaches down there. Yaya McClain. You got my man, Rick Carrillo. These some bad boys, but don't nobody really respect them no more because they say them type of guys don't know what they doing. But actually, when that's not, they do. Your Burt, you know, Sugar Burt.
Sugar Burt.
You know what I'm saying? Adrian over there at, I forgot his gym, but Adrian and bad boys. These the group of people that I hang around with. And if I'm not going to a tournament, I send my fighter to these guys. Look for this guy. Don't just let anybody train you. You know what I'm saying?
Because Bert and them, they do big shows, or they do big tournaments.
Hey, me and Bert been battling for years, man. For years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we know how to take fighters and build fighters. I could take a young man come in this gym and look at him and say, I can make you into a fighter. All you got to do is show me you got heart. I can teach everything you need to do.
Can't teach heart, though.
You can't teach heart. Thank you, bruh. That's one thing I can't teach. It's heart. You know what I'm saying? You can fake it till you make it, until that one dog come up against you, and you gonna tuck your tail and you gonna run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But when an alpha male or that dog, as people want to call them, come in the ring, everybody know who that alpha male is. You see what I'm saying? Even when an alpha male come into a room, everybody know, oh yeah, something different behind Slim right there.
Yeah, I've seen been in a few gyms now where I've been easy. I can't really, not necessarily. It's easy to tell which ones are those, but you'll see the ones that act like that until the real one come around.
That's right.
And then you be like, oh, you was pump faking.
You know,
it's really him.
Absolutely. And
he coming in.
I'm gonna tell you how you know. Another way you know. If you go talk to some of these coaches, you bring up myself, Coach G, first thing they hate on us. Oh, all they want to do is steal fighters. All they want to do is do this. How you gonna steal a grown man?
Free will, man. Free will.
If you're not training him and teaching him what he need to know, it's his job to better his technique. You know what I'm saying? And I can't forget this one other coach, Coach Lopez. That was a hell of a man. He died. He passed. He got Tito and Najee Lopez. Granite City.
There we go. Norman and them.
Yep.
There we go.
Brian Norman,
their
all
gym.
them, Big Norman.
Yeah.
Great coach. He boxed. See what I'm saying? But like I say, man, that's what's wrong with Georgia fighters. They got too many people in there pump faking. When they need to step out the way and get them to somebody to take them to their next level. Instead of saying, I can do it. And you can't do it because you don't know boxing scenario. You don't know what it takes to make this guy into a boxer.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? So it takes more than just seeing a guy. You got to use that guy's physical attributes. If he got short arms, you can't teach him how to fight long. That don't make sense.
Yeah.
So
He
that's
physically
how-
can't.
You know what I'm saying? He physically can't do it. So that's how we got to get back into the old school trainers and coaches. Coaches going around getting these trainers, turning them into coaches. You got to learn the craft in order to be a part of the craft. Not thinking you know the craft and getting people killed. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
so that's what Georgia need to do to become a power statement in this boxing.
We're going to note that because that's the goal. That's the goal, especially of this channel, is to make sure we get Georgia on the scene and on the level. I mean, it's going to take some time, you know what I mean? It's going to take some time, but the goal is to get Georgia on that level. But any final words, final message, final thoughts, anything that you feel like you want to get communicated out, because you never know who's going to see these things. You never know what young person or whoever's going to stumble
Absolutely.
across this. What would you say?
I would say, man, all us old OGs need to come back to the game of boxing. Rick Carrillo came back, myself came back, Adrian came back. It's a lot of old time fighters, man. Fighters that need to come on back and teach these young guys how to do it the old school way, the right way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of Georgia taking these guys and getting labeled as they pad their record and they get these bus drivers, and then when it's time for them to go fight, they look like some trash. We need to bring it back to the old style of boxing and the real style of boxing, which is the old school style. Because you can't go wrong with old school.
You really can't. You really can't.
You know it.
And Coach, I appreciate you even taking time out to speak with me. I done got some stuff from this that I'm gonna run this interview back even when I'm editing and doing all the stuff and just gonna study
Yes,
some of
sir.
the things and some of the names you said. I can tell a lot of wisdom, you know, I can
sir.
tell a lot of, there's a story behind, like you've actually been through some stuff to actually be able to tell somebody on the other side, hey, this is what, anyway, I don't mean to keep gassing you, but I appreciate you for sitting with me. I feel like I'm gonna be around y'all a good amount, so I'm gonna stay in the loop of what's going on, but I appreciate you again.
Definitely stay in the loop, brother, because
Yes.
we need to get this type of content out there so we can, like you say, make Georgia great, baby. Ain't that what my man Trump say? We got to make America great again.
Make Georgia great again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Coach,
You know?
appreciate you.
All right, brother.
Peace.
Appreciate you, man.